Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Motherhood Unscripted. My name is Gladys and today we are going to talk about identity shift. And this topic I'm really passionate about because most of us as mothers really lose ourselves once we become mothers, and we get to ask ourselves, who am I now? And this is something that I experienced back in my journey, because you used to be a career woman, you used to be someone maybe who hangs out with friends, or you're just doing your thing, but now you're becoming a mother, and quickly you realize that some of the things that you used to enjoy, you no longer enjoy them, or you don't even have time for them. So it is really important for us to have these conversations to really get to understand, why do mothers go through this shift. So one of the things that we can start off with is, it is completely normal to really be confused and really ask ourselves, why am I feeling this way? Why am I having mixed feelings of the things that I used to love? Now I feel like they're not as important, or you feel, is there something wrong with you? But I want to tell you, dear mom, that as mothers, we really change a lot. We really become someone else, because now you have this new role, and this new role is competing with other roles. Yeah, so it is something that when I went through that, I used to really question my identity and really ask myself, now who am I now? And I used to think at some point, when my kids will get older, maybe I will get back to my old self, or I will get back to the things that I used to do before the babies. But I quickly realized that that was just a dream. And I used to be bothered, because I thought maybe I was the only one who was going through this, or maybe I was not ambitious enough, or I was not really focused enough. And once I started doing my own research and reading some of the articles online, I realized that there is an identity shift. And it is important for us as mothers to have that understanding of that. Our free time becomes now filled with activities. Now you're breastfeeding, now you're changing diapers, your baby constantly needs attention almost 24 hours. And that is where now we become lost when we're talking about our identity, because now the time that you used to have, you don't even have time to hang out with friends, you don't have time to hang out with family. And this is something that is completely normal, but most of us really do not know the magnitude. And it all starts because of the societal expectations of how a mother should be. She should be able to juggle it all effortlessly. But truth be told, this is far from reality. And most of the mothers out here that I've gotten to talk about, is they thought that becoming a mother will be natural, that it will be easy, that it will be something that they will be just okay, I can be able to hang out with my friends, come home, take care of my baby, breastfeed natural, perfectly, or rather, you know, just carry on as we used to. But when you realize that you have lost yourself, some of these moms really get to judge themselves. And even me, I used to ask myself, maybe there's something that is wrong. But with the knowledge that I have now, which I'm really wanting to share with you, is that identity shift is something that we go through, and it is something that as mothers we will experience over and over again, because as our children grow older, their needs change, you know, from now having a newborn to being a toddler to going to school to becoming a teenager and even an adult. It's something that is continuous, and it's really important for us to have that understanding and give ourselves grace, knowing that I am going to lose myself, but if you're willing, you can be able to work on that and really face that situation and work it out. So this is what you are going to do. So society expects mothers to work as if they do not have children and parent as if they do not have jobs. And that is something that I'm sure most of us quickly realize, that we are not allowed to bring our problems from home at work and problems at work at home. So some of us really suffer in silence, because both, as we talked about even in the previous episode, is that it is completely normal to have these conflicting things once you become a mother, because both are very demanding and both really require a lot of attention. And especially for those moms who do not have enough support, they do not get to experience a village, so they are left with juggling all these things. And let's be honest here, mothers, most moms, we are the default parent. So mostly when it's for maternity leave, we are the ones who are left at home. Most of the things that are in the house, we are the one running it. So it becomes an added hat for us to juggle, because now you're running your work, or even if you're a businesswoman, and now you have this hat of mother, you have this hat of taking care of the household. If you have a nanny, that's another additional thing for you to figure it out. If you have other children, you have now to figure out how the structure of that home. So it becomes a lot, because society expects us to be the default parents. And once again, I can't say mothers are invisible, because some of these things we are experiencing, they are not really visible. Some of these things are just not really seen. So mothers really do a lot in the background, but they're not really acknowledged. And this is now where most moms really feel like their identities have been lost. And some of them lose it even for years on end, because now they take this role of becoming a mom. You find that they used to be someone who was career oriented, but because of now this loss of identity, you are assume that this is now how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be that graceful mother, you're supposed to be a graceful wife, you're supposed to be a homemaker. And some of us really are not able to look into that and to be able to see this is not something that we often talk about, is often talked about. There's no also spaces for sharing when we are changing. For example, let's see how we can lose our identity. Shift in priorities. Let's be honest, when you become a mother, there is a shift in priorities. You get to realize that some of the things that were a priority to you are now not really something that you will consider at the get-go, or they are not the things that you consider more important. And this is one of the things that we get to experience once you become a mom. Another thing that our identity shift is relationships. Let's be honest again, relationships with friends, with family, with your spouse, they can change in one way or another when you become a mom. So you get to question, okay, my friends, we used to hang out every weekend, or we used to meet once a month for this and that. Now you're not able to. And I have also experienced even loss of friends, because now you are a mom. Whenever your friends call you, you're not available. Maybe your baby gets sick when you want to go. Some of these things really get shift, and once you get to understand that, you get to know that I am not alone and you are not alone. And this is very, very important to know. And I believe that words create worlds. Why? Because once you're able to put a wording to your experience, once you're able to name what you're experiencing, it's really important, because you are able to acknowledge yourself, you're able to be heard and be seen, and you're able to understand that I am not alone. And you're able to understand that I'm not the only one who's going through this, because so many moms I've met and talked with say that, I feel like I'm the only one who's going through this. People look like they're moving on with their lives, and maybe my someone else children are coping better, or they're coping better with 5 children, and I have one and I can't cope. So some of these things, once you be able to have that wording, you are able to understand that you are not alone. And it's really important to have that language in your journey, so that you can be able to work through those emotions, those feelings, so that you can be a better person overall, and also mentally. So let's talk about the psychological changes that also we experience. It's really important to know that as mothers, we go through psychological changes. And this is because, when you're having a baby, your hormones change, everything changes. So you get to experience extreme joy, and all of a sudden extreme anxiety. And this can happen at the same time. And I have learned, because through my studies, which I've done maybe 2-3 years ago, is we can, as mothers, we can be able to experience both extreme joy and extreme sadness, or extreme grief. And this is something that is completely normal, because that is just how our body is designed, and as mothers is designed. And some of the mothers we get to the mothers that I've gotten to talk with, they have said, maybe I'm losing myself, I don't know, I don't feel normal, I don't feel like I am myself. Yes, this is something that is normal, and I want you to know that we go through the psychological changes, not only even the physical, because there is the physical changes, there is the psychological changes, there is the economical changes. Now you're taking care of a newborn, so this is something that is added. You have to have more money, because now you're buying things for this little one. There is a shift there. And even spiritually, you're not some of the things that you used to believe, you no longer believe, or they change, and that is completely normal. So some of these things that we experience in our identity are completely normal, and I want you to know that you are not alone. And these are some research that has been done from previous scholars, who you'll be getting to know as we continue. We'll be able to understand why I am going through this, and why there's a reason. So everything that we experience in motherhood is normal. It's not something that you feel like you're isolated, you feel like you're the only one. No. And it depends on where you are in your career. It depends on whether or not you're a single mom. It depends on whether if you have support. So it depends on magnitude, but we all experience identity shift. So lastly, as mothers, we do not get mad, we get perfect. And the reason why I'm saying this is because most moms really try their best to show up in each and every way. And we do that because we want the best for our children, we want the best for our families. So we try to juggle all those hats in the air effortlessly. But that only leads to burnout, it leads to resentment, and as mothers, we really experience even mental health challenges because of that, because we are trying to fit in. And of course, in a society, in the society we live in, we want to fit in, you want to be someone who is seen and seen as a good mother. And we live in a world where, you know, we value the external success. You know, I have done a PhD, that is something that is considered a success. I have done, I've gotten my certificate in this, I have done this. We live in a world where there is a lot of external validation. So even when it comes to motherhood, we want people to accept us, to see that we are doing a good job, that we are doing things effortlessly, that there is nothing that is wrong with us. So in a world that it values external validation, most moms do not get mad, they get perfect. And you see many moms, even when I was having my second born, I remember 5 years ago, to go to the clinic, and I would look at these moms and just who are maybe when we were seated at the line of the clinic, and I remember looking at them and seeing, you know, their hair is okay, their nails are good, they have dressed well, they are clean, and I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be that mom also, because they look like their journey was effortlessly. But when I come home, it was another thing. I was really struggling mentally. I was always behind in chores because, you know, my son was not sleeping. So I wanted to look like them. But what it did to me, I was burnt out, I was resentful, I was not happy. And as soon as you realize that you have to meet your own expectations rather than try to compete with other moms or compete for the validation from outside, it's really important to come back to yourself and understand, this is my expectation, this is my reality, I can only achieve this. So this is some of the pointers that I wanted to give you for what happens when you change in terms for identity. And thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you on the next. Okay, thank you, bye.